Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2024 and welcome back to the A2A Piper PA-60 Aerostar. This is obviously still in early access, but we're parked on the ramp here at Swartkops Air Force Base, and I'm going to be doing another FSEconomy flight, taking our Aerostar from here at Swartkops down to the coast outside Durban, south of Durban to Margate. So we're looking at about an hour 45, so just under 2 hours worth of flying. And nice and clear day here. Weather's perfectly fine here outside Pretoria, but it looks like we might run into a bit of weather getting closer to Margate later in the afternoon. It is kind of late afternoon, so we're expecting to be arriving just before sunset or around sunset, but let's not waste any more time. We've got 3 VIP passengers, so let's go ahead and start getting things set up. Okay, so there we are, all cold and dark. So let's come down here, and what I wanted to do is actually just try using the tablet to do our flight plan, which I've never actually done before. So here we are at Swartkops. We're going to Margate, and Victor Airways works fine. So let's see what that's given us. That's pretty cool. So we'll use our GPS. So heading out to straight over Johannesburg and cruising at 90. So that kind of works. We'll send that to the avionics. Right, then let's come back here and go to our checklist. So pre-flight is complete. There's no walk around yet in the beta version. Passengers briefed, seatbelt secured, cabin door, batteries off, gear switch down, flaps are down, but we'll leave them like that because we can't actually put them up when we have no power. Okay, flight controls. Free. Parking brake is now set. Switches all off. Gear lock lights. Oh, no, we need a battery for that. Switches all off, then battery on. Okay, gear lights. Oh, our flaps are in fact up. It's just that we had no power to the display, so that's good. Elevator and rudder trim. Let's just bring the elevator trim down to neutral. Cool. Hydraulic shutoff should be open, which it is. Fuel. Right, let me start the FSEconomy flight. Okay, we can check our fuel. So we've got plenty. We're at about 75%. Okay. Low fuel warning is off. Circuit breakers are not actually modeled yet in early access. Altimeter and clock. Okay, props full forward. Mixture idle cutoff. So I'm actually going to just put my hardware up and we'll bring these down. Okay, batteries on. Oh, throttle's cracked. Batteries on. Right, fuel selectors. Let's move this out the way. Cycle. And then let's leave them on. Good. Right engine fuel boost on. Mixture. Check for fuel flow. There we go. Bring it back. Okay, engage the starter. And then full rich as the engine fires. Doesn't seem too good. May have an issue with our starter. Let's try once more. Okay, so that's a bit worrying because it's supposed to fire before we kick the mixture in. Okay, let's do left engine. Oh, we need to check the gyro pressure comes up, which it does. Right, there we go. It's interesting that the RPM on the left engine is so much lower. Maybe that'll come up as it warms up, we can only hope. Let's just lean those mixtures out a bit. Okay, this is not a new aircraft by any means, so that is a little concerning. It's not improving. Okay, it is slightly improving. Just looking at this as well. Oil. Is that oil temperature or oil pressure? It must be oil pressure. It's pretty low. That is starting to catch up. So we'll keep an eye on that. Oil temperatures are also pretty low. Okay, we'll keep it around 1,000. So that those can warm up a bit. Oh, definitely should have done this. Okay, let's sync this up with the double button press thing that I don't like. Okay, so there's 30, so we're basically bang on there. That's interesting. Check at that, we've got no pressure there. This left engine's not looking too happy. Right, we're gonna risk it. It'll make it interesting. In real life, I definitely would not do that, but for the sake of flight sim, why not? Okay, I want to actually turn this on because I'm definitely going to be using the autopilot. Okay, warming up at 1,000 RPM. Props full forward, mixture rich. Let's go up to 1,500. Okay, mixture's back to rich. Up to 1,500. Check for 28 volts on the alternator. Seems significantly less. Interesting. Okay, now I'll go to 21. that's good. And these values are coming up much nicer. Okay, so left magneto on the left engine is less happy than the right. Right engine is pretty much even. Gyro pressure's in the green. Right, then I think we are good. Let's go flaps 10 for takeoff. Trim is neutral. We don't need the pitot heat at the moment. Right, let's taxi out. Okay, winds here, 283 at 16 knots, quite windy. Okay, 283, we'll take runway 20. So that's out that way. Okay, runway heading, and we're gonna climb to 9,000 feet. Not on runway heading, we're going up eventually to 9,000. We'll initially be 9,000, sorry, we'll initially be runway heading, and then once we're stable in the climb, we will turn left to intercept our GPS course, which takes us over the Johannesburg or Tambo VOR, and then all the way out to Margate. Okay, I'm gonna do an intersection departure again, but not this one, the next one. Our left engine is definitely less happy than our right engine, but it is a lot older, so it's something we might need to look at doing, getting that serviced at some point. Okay, I'm going to set this over to GPS. That's good. And 190 on here. So that is there. Okay, this is the intersection I wanted to take off from. Strobes the landing lights. Yo, look at that windsock. So we're gonna have wind pumping in from our right hand side. Our left engine is not happy at low settings. Okay, full on prop and mixture. Alright, let's watch that crosswind. Sync up our heading. Okay, heading an attitude on the autopilot. Airspeed's alive. Okay, gears coming up, flaps coming up. Flaps to neutral, or flap lever to neutral. Get the autopilot on there. Okay, let's bring the RPM back to 24. Manifold pressure back to about 24. Our needles are very uneven. And it is very windy out there. We are well on our way. Let's turn off the boost pumps. Let's flip this over to nav. And that will put us onto our GPS course, coming through 7,000 feet. There's 8,000 feet. Okay, after takeoff, wheels, gear, flaps, climb. Cruise. Okay, so if we come back here, I'm going to cruise at about, normally do 2120. So 20 on the manifold pressure, 21 on the RPM is 8.5. Really bouncing us around the wind. That is Grand Central there. Check out, we're crabbing. to 9,000. There is our Tambo coming up. Right, so already at our cruise altitude before our first waypoint, and this is where we will sit for the next 2 hours. Okay, so the one thing I just thought of is, does our flight plan take us over Lesotho? No, we're going down Warden, Ladysmith, Pietermaritzburg, because this area here, I don't know if we have what layers we have here. There. We need to be higher than 9,000, but going down this side, we'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so just under 5 hours worth of endurance, so no issues there. So we're going to cruise along for about an hour and 40 minutes, and I will see you a bit later when we prep for our arrival into Margate. Okay, so Margate is now our next waypoint. What are we? 48 miles out. So you can see the weather has changed quite a bit. And Margate is reporting some rain. So we're going to see if we can try to dodge some of these clouds. They're also running out of light. I don't know, I can't seem to get these instrument lights to work at all. I wonder if they're not modeled in the early access build. This doesn't seem to do anything. So Margate is basically straight in front of us. That looks like rain out there. There's definitely some underneath here. If we can't make it into Margate, we'll head back to Pietermaritzburg. It's just behind us now. So let's see if we can try and get to the coast and then continue down towards Margate. Margate has an RNAV arrival, which we could try. Left oil pressure is not looking good. I think we need to change the oil on that engine or top it up. Maybe it's low. Still plenty of fuel on board at least. Looks like we've just got a line of rain clouds all along the coast there. We can see the coastline. I think we're gonna start a gradual descent. To get under these clouds. And we'll pick up some speed as well, but that's okay. Such a pretty area of the country. It's like more of the rain and the weather is actually behind us. Once we get under these clouds, we should actually be alright. Okay, airfield elevation is 498 feet, so call that 500, so we'll go down to 2,000 feet. Okay, we will take runway 23. Which means we're going basically straight in. It's parallel to the coast. Why can't I change this? That's weird. I'm not sure why I can't turn this off. I'm not even using it. Very strange, but okay, we'll just we'll just leave that. I just want to have this lined up with the runway. Guess what I could do actually is just get rid of some of that engine noise. Very windy out there. We are being bumped around quite a bit. Right, let's start bringing the power back. should be a highway here that we can see, and the airstrip is will be on the right hand side of the highway, so inland. There's the highway there in front of us now. I'm going to bring the props back to full. Okay, disengaging the autopilot. Let's see if we can pick up that highway again. I think I have it there. Might actually see the airport. That's not the airport that I'm looking at. So this is Port Shepston here. This little town. So 10 miles out. Still don't know why I can't change that. Unless it's to do with this. Nope. Okay, I'm not actually sure what that does then either. Quite a significant cloud layer here as we pass over Port Shepston. Beautiful sunset. Okay, 6 miles out. Just need to spot the runway, which I think I can see. Different sound in there, which is worrying me. Everything's still in the green. Our oil pressure on the left is still marginal. Okay, let's go mixtures full. That's gotten rid of the sound. Looks like there might be some rain out that way, but we're okay here at the moment. Alright, let's get 10 degrees of flaps. Alright, 20 degrees. It's actually quite a cool flap system. I'm enjoying it. Gear coming down, and we have 3 green lights. Landing lights are on, props full, mixture full. Let's get the rest of our flaps in. Some power to compensate. Okay, flap lever back to neutral. It's quite windy, so keep that in mind. Looks like it's a good thing we aren't going further. It looks pretty rough out there. Welcome to Margate. the last time I was here was in the not FSEconomy, in the Neofly series way back towards the beginning of last year, when I was doing the operations down here around Durban. So it's been a long time since I've been into Margate, but here we are now, and I think we're gonna check out engine left. There's our FSEconomy flight done for oil and stuff like that, because it's definitely not happy. Okay, that's done. We can turn these off. I still don't see this doing anything, so maybe that's not modeled yet. We can turn off all the lights, the alternators, and the battery. Right, let's come in here and do some inspection. So fuselage is fine. Left engine. Okay, so it's just, we have some issues there. Oil level actually looks okay. Sure, there's some issues on this one too. But look at that, 1,300 hours versus 526. So it's these cylinders that are the problem. Burning more oil. Okay, so we are going to need to fix that soon, because we have seen that low oil pressure. Okay, but there we are, safely arrived in Margate. And a nice enjoyable flight in the Aerostar. It looks like the weather might be starting to close in. It's a bit clear. Okay, no, it's worse out that way. So I think, once again, we might have made it just in time. Yeah, look at that, it's getting dark out there. Obviously we're losing light because it's the end of the day, but that is going to bring us to the end of this video. As always, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below, and hopefully I see you in the next one.